Hi everybody, this is Daily Math number 23. All right, Victor has half of an hour left to finish his homework. It takes him 1/10 of an hour to do each problem. How many problems will he get done in the half hour? So something really nice for this problem is that they've created sort of like a little number line here for us, so we can use that as our timeline. So if we're working with tenths, right, a half an hour is going to be equivalent to 5/10, right? We can go ahead and say, well, how can I turn this 2 into a 10? I would multiply it by 5, and whatever I do to the bottom, I'm going to do to the top. So 5/10 is equivalent to 1/2, right? So that means if this 0 is 0/10, then we'd have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, and then we'd be at our 5/10, right? So we can go ahead and label those here, okay? So this whole time span here from 0 to 1/2 is going to show us half an hour. He can do one problem in 1/10 of an hour. Therefore, he can do one problem here, right? 2 problems here, 3, 4, 5. So in this whole time span here, he can complete 5 problems. Another way to solve this problem that you could have done is you could have just simply taken that half an hour and divided it by 1/10. That would also work. Okay, and the way that we would do that is we would keep the half, we would change the sign to multiplication, and we would find the reciprocal of 1/10, which is 10 over 1. Then when we multiply, 1 times 10 is 10, and 2 times 1 is 2. We ask ourselves, how many times does 2 go into 10? It goes in 5 times exactly, and we get that same answer that we got over here of 5 problems. Either way works for solving for this. All right, number 2 says plot the points. So let's go ahead and do that. Our first point is -3, 3. Whenever we look at coordinates, we know that the x comes first and then the y. So we're always going to go left to right on the x-axis first, and then we will use the y-axis to go up and down. So we're going to go over to -3 and then up to +3 and plot our point. Okay, that's our first point here, this one right here, okay? Up next, we have 3, 3. So we're gonna go over to 3 and up to +3, and we're gonna plot our point. The last one we have is +3, -2, so we're gonna go over to 3 and we're gonna come down to -2, okay? Now it says plot a fourth point to make a rectangle and connect the points. All right, so our fourth point, if we're wanting to make a connection here with the other ones, would be right here, okay? And it asks us, what are the coordinates of this point? Well, to get this point, we're gonna start on the x-axis. We go over to -3 and down to -2. So this point is gonna be -3, -2. We'll write that right here. Okay, and it also wanted us to connect these points. I would usually use a ruler or some sort of straight edge to do that. That way it doesn't get all funky and wonky. I'm gonna connect my points now. And you can see that it's gonna create a rectangle. Alrighty. The next question it asks is, it says, what is the perimeter of this figure? So we've got to go ahead and figure out what each of these side lengths are. Well, looking here, we can go ahead and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is 6. So if this guy over here is 6 units long, then so is this one down here. And if this one over here is 5 units long, then so is this one over here. So we're going to go ahead and find the perimeter by adding up all of our side lengths. So we have 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6. 5 and 5 is 10. 6 and 6 is 12. And 10 plus 12 is going to give us 22. So the perimeter of this figure is 22 units. All right, that's it for daily math today. Please send me a picture of your work. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you soon.